Hi everyone, I hope you all are doing well. Welcome to Online Study for You, a complete placement solution. My name is Shruti Grover and I'm a software developer. Today we'll be solving the questions of the TCS exam. So, moving forward, the first problem that we have is you're given with an array of integers represents the digits of a number. That means you have array of integers, correct? That is represented by ARR, and these represents the digits of a number. Digits of a number means that lies between 0 to 9. Correct, these are the digits. Your task is to write a program to generate the largest number possible using these digits. Means you have to write a program that will generate the largest number. Largest number means you have array of digits and you have to form the number largest number. That is, you have to form the largest number with the array. Form the largest number with the array of integers or the digits that are given in your array. So they have written the digits in the array are between 0 and 9. That is, any value will be greater than 0 and will lie between 0 and 9. So if you will move towards here, if you have 4, 7, 9, 2, 3, it should be greater than equal to, correct? It should be equal to should also be there. So if you will see this, so the largest number that you can form should start with 9. So first we have 9. Then the second largest number that we have is 7. So next is 7. Then we have 4, 3, 2. So this will be your largest number. If I'll give you another example, suppose the next example you have 3, 3, 1, 2, and 6. What should be the largest number that you can form with these array of elements? So the largest number among these all will be 6, then 3, next 3, 2, 1. 6, 3, 3, 2, 1. This will should be your output, correct? So how you can approach for this problem? So first thing that you can do is solution will be you can sort the array, correct? When you'll sort the array, your array elements will become in sorting manner, correct? So if I'll sort first array 4, 7, 9, 2, 3, it will become like 9, 7, 4, 3, 2. If I'll sort it in descending order, correct? And if I'll sort it in ascending order, then it will become in the reverse order, that is 2, 3, 4, 7, 9, correct? So this is in descending order, and if I'll sort it in ascending order, it will become 2, 3, 4, 7, 9, correct? What I want to do is to form a number, correct? And I want to form the largest number. So for forming the largest number, what I can do, I can make my nums is equal to num into 10 plus array of I. If I'll perform like this, so I'll be able to form the number. How? Suppose initially I make my num equal to 9, correct? So num is equal to 9. That is the largest number. After this, now I'll perform my operations from this 7 going towards 2, correct? If I'll want to perform the second, that is we have 7, so I'll do num into 10. Num is 9, so 9 into 10 plus array of I, that is 7. So it will become as 90 plus 7 will give me 97. Now next element that I have is 4, correct? Now my num becomes 97, so 97 into 10 plus 4, this will give me 974. After this I have 3, so 974 into 10, if I'll perform 974 into 10 plus 3, so it will become 9740 plus 3, this will be equal to 9743. After this, if I'll move towards this 2, so if I'll multiply 9743 into 2 into 10 plus 2, so it will become 97432, which will be my desired output. So what I am doing over here, I'm sorting it in ascending order. Sort in ascending order. After sorting, what I'll do, After sorting it, I want it to be initialize num, and num will be holding the value of array of n minus 1. Correct. After this, I am saying to iterate from the second last element, that is iterate from n minus 2. Correct. And going towards 0, going to 0, and after this it will become num is equal to num into 10 plus array of 5. Perform this on every array element. After doing this, what should be your time complexity? As you are sorting, time complexity will be order of n log n. Correct. What will be your space complexity? Space complexity will be constant. So this is your brute force approach. If I'll code this, so moving towards the code, here you can see first thing that I'll write will be I'll initialize array or vector. Suppose I want to initialize vector int array, and it has elements, suppose 7, 3, 4, 9, 9 and 2. Correct. Now I'll perform. I'll write int n is equal to array dot size. Correct. After this, I want to sort it. So on sorting, I am using the inbuilt sort method, that is array dot begin and array dot end. After doing this, what I'll do, I'll write int num is equal to, and it will be holding the last value of the sorted array, that is the largest value. And now if I want to iterate, so I'll iterate from int I is equal to n minus 2, I greater than equal to 0, and I minus minus. And every time I'll doing num is equal to num into 10 plus array of I. After doing this, what I want to print, I want to print the num. So I'll write cout num. If I'll run this, let's see if it's working. So we are getting error that vector is not defined and array also was not defined in this scope. Correct. So here we should change the header file. I'll write bits stdc. Now if I'll run it, now you can see you are getting the correct output as 97432, which is correct. So this was the code in C++ and this was the brute force because the time complexity is order of n log n. Moving towards the optimized approach. If I'll move towards the optimized approach, so what can be the optimized approach to solve this problem? I hope you all have heard of the maps or the count array. Correct. This was the brute force approach. Now, moving towards the optimal. So I am saying you that you are given with an array. Correct. Why you not count the frequency of the array, and why you don't count the frequency of the array, and on counting the frequency of the array, uh, just make the largest number. So what I'm saying, like I have 9, 7, I have 2, 4 and 3. This is the array that is given to me separated by commas. I'm saying you just make a count array. Correct. And count array will be of size 10 because your range lies from 0 to 9. So suppose this is your count array. Correct. I'm writing 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And I'll mark its frequencies as 0. Correct. Now, after doing this, I'll iterate my array and I'll increase the frequencies. For example, 3's frequency is 1, 2's is 1, 4 is 1, 9 is 1, and 7 is 1. Correct. I have marked the frequency of the array also. Now, what I am saying you to do is, after iterating the array, just print the elements in starting from 9 and going towards its frequency. That is, I'm saying you that iterate over an array from starting from 9. So I started from 9. So 9's frequency is 1. So I printed 9 one time. Now, after moving towards, I have 7. So its frequency 0, we'll neglect it. Now we have 7. 7's frequency is 1. So I'll print it one time. That is, we are printing the element, the number of times they have the frequency. Then 4. So I'll print 4. Then I have 3. So I'll print 3. Then I have 2. Suppose in the array, I have two more elements. One is 7 and the another is 3. So here 3 frequency will become 2 and 7 frequency will also become 2. When I'll iterate the array starting from 9, so I'll see 9's frequency is 1, I'll print it one time. 8 frequency 0, I'll not print it. 7's frequency is 2. So I'll print 7 how many times? 2 times. So I'll print 7 2 times. Now I come towards 4. 4 frequency is 1. So I'll print 4 one time. Then 3. 3's frequency is 2. Correct? So printed that 2 times. Then I have 2 and 2's frequency is 1. So I'll print 2 one time. So this will be my largest array that will be formed from it. Correct? So this was the code that we have discussed, approach that we have discussed. If I'll move towards the writing the algorithm that we are using, so we are using that initialize an array or vector, initialize a count array or hash array of size 10. Why size 10? Because we are going from 0 to 9. So number of elements will be 10. Count the frequency of the digits in the array. Count the frequency of the digits in the array. Now iterate and print the iterate and print the element frequency number of times and print elements frequency times. So in this case, what will be the time complexity? Time complexity will be order of n. Space complexity, because we are initializing a count array of size 10, so it will be order of 10. So that the 10 is constant, so we can say the space will be order of 1. So this is the approach, and now we will move towards the code. I'll be coding in C++ and will show you the code of Java. So here I have given with a vector, and now I'll initialize the another. I'll remove from here. I initialize the another vector count, which will be of size 10, and initially it will be 0. Now I'll iterate over my array, that is my vector, till n, and I'll count the frequency of the elements and will increment the frequency in the count array. So I'll write count array of I plus plus. After doing this, now I want to print the elements, the number of times they are occurring. So for that, what I'll do, I'll start from what I'll write int I is equal to 9. Correct? I will be greater than equal to 0 and I minus minus. I have to print the element, the number of times they are occurring, and their frequency is stored in the count array. So what I'll do over here, I'll write for let j is equal to 0, j less than, till where it has to go. It has to go from count of j, correct, and j count of I, that is the frequency of the ith element. And which element I want to print? I want to print the ith element. So I'll print I. Correct. What I am doing, iterating the numbers from 9 going towards 0 and printing those numbers, the number of times they are occurring in my count array. Correct. If I'll run this code, oh, here we have written let, it's int. Now if I'll run it, now you can see you are getting the correct output, that is 97432. Suppose if I want to add the duplicacy, that is 7 and 4 are occurring twice, and if I'll run it, so you can see we'll again get the correct output. We are getting 9774432. Correct. So this was the code in C++. Moving towards the Java code that we have. So Java code I can show you. Here we have declared a hash array of size 10. Correct. Now then we are storing the frequency, and after storing the frequency we are iterating the hash in the descending order to print the required number. Correct. And we are printing it the number of times a digit occurs. So this is the code of Java, and if I run it, so you can see for the number 123450, the output you will get is 543210. Correct. So this was the approach. We have discussed C++ and Java code both. Now let's move towards the next question that we have. So the next question that we have is, you are given with an array of size n. Correct. What is your task? Your task is to find the maximum and minimum element of the array using the minimum number of comparisons. That is, in the input, you have your array, which is of size n. Correct. And what you have to give in the output? You have to give output as the maximum element and the minimum element. And you have to return it in a pair format. Minimum element, and you have to return it in the pair format. It is not written, but the question that was asked in the exam was to return in the pair format. Correct. So how you will approach to this problem? The first brute force approach that I am discussing with you is to sort an array. The first element will be minimum, the last element will be maximum, and you can do that. But the approach that I'll be discussing, we'll be using the pair format, that is in C++, we'll be using the struct. Correct. So suppose if I talk about the approach, so if I have the array 35419, this is my array. If my n size is 1, then that element will only be maximum, and that element will only be the minimum. Correct. When your n is 1, base case will be, if your n is equal to 1, so that element will be your maximum, that is array of 0, and that element will only be your minimum. Correct. But here you have your n size is 5, so you have to perform. So what you can do, you can choose the first two elements and mark the maximum and minimum. Suppose I'll declare maximum and minimum. And maximum I'll choose from these two elements, first two element, which is the maximum element 5. Minimum element among these 3. Correct. So after choosing this, now I am saying you to iterate from this second index. And after starting iterating, compare it with max and min. So 4 is greater than max? No. So max will remain as 5. Is 4 is less than 3? No. So minimum will remain as 3. Now coming towards 1. Is 1 greater than max? No. So max will remain as 5. Is 1 less than minimum? Yes, 1 is less than minimum. So I'll update it to 1. Now I have 9. 9 is greater than maximum. Yes, it's greater than maximum. So I'll update it with 9. So the output that we'll get, will minimum element should be 1 and the maximum element should be 9, which is correct. Correct. So if I'll move towards the approach of solving this, what I am saying you is to create a class or a struct. So suppose I created struct pair, and in this, what I'm writing int max and int min. After doing this, this is the main function, or you can say the function. I'm writing the function like this. What you have to do, you have to first check your base case. If n is equal to 1, then what you have to return, you have to return the maximum and minimum element. So how you will get the maximum and minimum element in that case? In that case, what you can do, suppose the pair value that you have is, you have to return or you have to print, so you'll declare that pair. So suppose you declare struct pair min max, and after doing this, when your n is 1, so min max dot min will remain as array of 0, Why we are writing dot min? Because we have initialized the struct and we are accessing it. So but to access we use the dot. And min max dot max will also be array of 0. Suppose if it is not 1, then what we have to do? We have to choose the minimum and the maximum element. Correct? From the first two elements of the array. So I'll compare. If array of 0 is greater than array of 1, so in that case, your minimum element will be, that is minimum will be array of 1 and maximum will be array of 0. And else condition, else if when your array of 1 will be greater than your array of 0. In that case, what you will write, the minimum element will be array of 0 and the maximum element will be array of 1. Correct? So these will be your conditions. After doing this, what I am saying you to iterate the array, and your iteration will start from 2 and will go till n. And every time you'll update your max and min by comparison. Update the max and min by comparison. Correct. So every time whenever you'll writing min max, how you will write? You will write min max dot min and min max dot max, because this min max will be your pair that you will be returning, and this min and the max element are the struct elements that you are accessing. So in this case, what will be your time complexity? Order of n. Space complexity will be order of 1. So if you'll move towards here, this example 22, 14, 8, 7, 35, 3. So if I'll write it here, if I have 22, 14, 8, 17, 35 and 3. Correct. I have it like this. So I have to declare the min max initially by using first two elements. So minimum will be 14 and maximum will be 22. Now I'll start from here and I'll update my min max. 8 is less than minimum, so I'll update 8 as the minimum. Maximum will remain as 22. Now 17. 17 is not greater than 22 and is not less than 8, so it will remain as it is. 35. 35 is greater than maximum, so I'll update my maximum. 3 is smaller than this minimum, so I'll update 3. So 3 and 35 will be my answer. Now I'll move towards the code part. So I'll be coding in C++. So I'll remove here, and what I'll write, what we have given, we are given with an array of digits or array of marks, you can say, or an array elements. Correct? So how you will write? You will write int array. And what are your elements that are given to you? The array elements are 35419. 35419. Correct. After doing this, your n is 5. Correct. Now let's perform. I'll write struct pair, and what I'll write over here, get min max, and here I'll call the function of calculate min max. Correct. Now here what I'll pass array and n. After doing this, what I want to print? I want to print the maximum and minimum element. Correct. So this print part will do later. What I'll do, I'll declare this struct pair, and inside this I'll write int max and int min. Correct. So I'll write int min, int max. Here also it will be. And after doing this, what I'll write, I have to return. What I have to return? Pair. So return type will be pair. Get min max. Here pair. What is the function? Calculate min max. And what we have passed? Int array and int n. After doing this, I'll initialize struct pair get min max. Correct. After doing this, I'll check if n is equal to 1. So get min max dot minimum will be equal to array of 0 and get min max dot max will also be equal to array of 0. After doing this, I'll check if array of 0 is greater than array of 1. So by doing this, what I'll do, if array of 0 is greater than array of 1, which will be your minimum element will be array of 1 and maximum element will be your array of 0. Else, what you'll do, you have to reverse this. So your maximum will become as first element of the array and minimum will become as the 0th element. After doing this, what we have to do, we have to iterate from I is equal to 2 for int I is equal to 2, I greater than equal to 0 and I minus minus. What we'll do, we'll compare. If array of I, if it's greater than what? We will compare it if it is greater than the maximum element. Which will be your maximum element? That is get min max dot max. Then get min max dot max will be updated as array of I, correct? And if array of I, if it is less than get min max dot minimum element, then your minimum element will be updated and it will become equal to array of I, correct? And what we have to return, we have to return get min max, and here on returning, what will print, will print get min max dot min and get min max dot max, correct? If I'll run this code, so you can see the minimum element that is coming as 3 and the maximum element that is coming as 5, but we have maximum element as 4. So that means we have done some logical mistake. Let's figure out the mistake that we have done. So array of I, if it's greater than get min max, will be updated as array of I, correct? And if it is less than, here let's write else if, and that means, so the mistake we have done here is it should be less than n because we are checking for further elements. So I less than n it should be. So now you can see we are getting the correct output as 1 9 because we have iterated the for loop in the wrong direction. Now it's working fine. So this was the C++ code, correct? If I'll move towards the Java code, so you can see the Java code is also here. Here we have declared a class because there is no struct over here. We have minimum and maximum and we have declared a pair, and now we have written that if there is only one element, then we are returning the same element as minimum and maximum. After doing this, we are checking if array of 0 is greater than array of 1 and all, correct? And iterating the for loop, correct? After this, we are printing it. So if I'll run it, so you can see the minimum element is 1 and maximum element is 3000 for this array that is given to you. So this was the today's code that we have discussed, two problems that we have discussed. If you have any doubts in any of the problem, do reach out to us. Till that, take care, bye bye, keep coding and keep hustling.